Hi, I'm Nirmal and today we discuss about mass production system in operation management. So mass production, also called flow productions or repetitive flow productions in operation management, is the production of large amounts of standardized production on production lines. It was popularized by Henry Ford in the early 20th century. So, notably, in his Ford models, T mass production is notable because it permits very high rates of production per workers and therefore provides very inexpensive production in an organizations. So mass production is capital intensive as it uses a high proportion of machinery in relation to workers. So, with fewer labor cost and a faster rate of production, capital is increased while expenditure is decreased. So, however, the machinery that is needed to set up a mass production line is so expensive that there must be some assurance that the product is to be successful so the company can get a return on their investments and so that mass productions I already told that is very expensive. That is, must be assurance that his product is to be successful so the company can get a return on its investment. So machinery for mass production such as robots and machine presses have high installation costs. One of the descriptions of mass production is that the craftsmanship is in the workbench itself, not the training of the worker, rather than having a skilled worker measured every dimension of each part of the production against the plans or the other parts as it beings formed in organizations. So there are jigs and gauge blocks that are ready to hand to ensure that the part is made to fit this setup. It has already been checked that the finished part will be to specification to fit all the other finished parts and it will be made quicker with no time spent on finishing the parts to fit one another. This is the specified or specialized capital required for mass production. Each workbench is different and each set of tools at each benchmark limited to those necessary to make one part. Now we discuss about use of assembly lines in mass production. So mass production system are usually organized into assembly lines. The assemblies pass by a conveyor or if they are heavy, huge from an overhead monorail in a factory for complex production. Rather than one assembly line, there may be many auxiliary assembly lines feeding sub assemblies. So, that is car engines or seats to be backbone. Main assembly lines, a diagram of a typical mass production factory looks more like the skeleton of a fish than a single line. This is also used in food manufacturers to produce foods continuously in their factory or organizations. So characteristics of mass production. Now we discuss about this. Special purpose machines and product type layout. Special purpose machines are used and the plant assembly stages are laid out in the basis of production layout. The layout by sequence. Lesser flexibility in production schedules. Interruptions due to breakdowns and absentees seriously affect production, as stoppage of one machine usually disturbs the working of other machines. Systematic maintenance and provisioning of standby operators are therefore two major management functions. Importance of mass productions. The continuous flow of materials, the flow of materials is continuous and there is little or no queuing at any stage of processing. Mechanized materials handling. Materials handling is comparatively less fast because materials move through a short distance between stages, and secondly the materials handling activity is mostly mechanized by conveyors and transfer machines. Low skilled labor. Relatively low skilled labor is employed. Short manufacturing cycle time. The manufacturing cycle time is very short. The machine capacities are balanced by duplicating machines whenever necessary. Easy supervisions. Supervisions is relatively easier as only few instructions are necessary, and that too at the start of the job. Limited work in progress. Work in progress is comparatively less since the manufacturing line is balanced. Example of mass production system. Flow production involves a continuous movement of items through the production process. This means that when one task is finished, the next task must start immediately. Therefore, the time taken on each task must be same. Flow production, often known as mass production, involves the use of production lines such as in a car manufacturer where doors engines. So bonnets and wheels are added to a chassis as it moves along with assembly lines. It is appropriate when firms are looking to produce a high volume of similar items. Advantages of mass production system. Flow production is capital intensive. This means it uses a high proportion of machinery in relation to workers, as is the case on an assembly lines. The advantages of these is that a high number of production can roll off assembly lines at very low cost. This is because production can continue at right and over weekend, and also firms can define from economies of scale, which should lower the cost per unit of production. Disadvantages of mass production and system. Now we discuss about this. What is the disadvantages of mass production? The main disadvantages is that with so much machinery, it is very difficult to alter the production process in organizations. This makes production inflexible and means that all products have to be very similar or standardized and cannot be tailored to individual tastes. However, some variety can be achieved by applying different finishes, decorations, etc. at the end of the production line. So, thanks for watching my videos.